Welcome back to the channel, guys. Another new video here. Just talking about Arsenal this time. So, all our recent transfer activity. Season is very much upon us. Have we done enough? Let's have a chat. I know it's not been announced just yet in terms of I haven't seen him holding up a shirt or anything, but I think Bruno Guimaraes is fantastic business. Let's just get that one out the way first. Bruno Guimaraes is probably the best bit of business we could have done adding to our central midfield. I really do believe that as well. We're a very defensive unit, a very solid unit. Adding Bruno Guimaraes to that is just... I mean, for me, I loved Thomas Partey. I thought he was a brilliant player. I liked him at Atletico Madrid. I'm not too sure the charges against him are true or whether they're false. We all know how that could go with that particular sort of charge. But he was a big guy. He had big legs. He was strong. You know, he had just gotten used to the Premier League. He was overcoming some injuries and he was performing really well. I would have loved to extend his contracts, and I think that's what made us a little bit vulnerable last season, is that where we replaced him with Martin Zubimendi, I feel that his height, his length of legs, he's just a totally different player to Thomas Partey, and I believe that landed him in trouble in terms of sort of covering for our defence. Or, I mean, fair enough, I'm not saying Zubimendi's a rubbish player. I'm just saying that, obviously being a new player to the Premier League, as well as, not a very large player, I still think he done really well. I just feel that we missed something in that midfield last season, especially when it comes to like aerial duels and things like that. And adding Bruno to that is not only going to help, but it's going to help us rotate. Considering we're more than likely going to be in around about the same amount of games this season than we was last season, and not taking, not to be overconfident. And I know we got into, 2 finals last season, close to an FA Cup final, and obviously won the Premier League. So, I mean, if we could pull off the exact same season, you'd be pretty happy with that. But we have to see some sort of progression. So I would love to win the League Cup. We haven't won. I don't think I've ever seen Arsenal win the League Cup, to be honest with you. I would love to have a push for that and see how that pushes us on for the rest of the season. I would love to see that. Obviously, we're playing the Community Shield next week against Man City, which would be interesting. You get a good gauge to where the two teams are, basically. So I really will be looking forward to watching that. I was really, beginning of the transfer, I wasn't excited for it at all. Didn't really expect much from Arsenal, to be fair, because every time we have won the Premier League, the following season we've sort of not really done anything and sort of like, rested on our laurels sort of thing. Or rested on our laurels or our morals. But yeah. So I just think that, obviously, I know this is a different ownership. This is 22 years later. And it was just brilliant the past 2 weeks being linked with Vinny Jr. And not just being linked with him. It's not like you're just reading articles going, oh yeah, it's nice to read an article about us being linked with Vinny. Like, we was generally readying ourselves in case he wasn't going to go back there, in case he wasn't going to sign a contract. So I was really excited, and I don't feel disappointed one bit that we haven't landed him. If anything, that's only increased my confidence that the owners and everyone at Arsenal are going in the right direction, thinking of the next level. And that, for me, is something I haven't seen from this club. So I was really, really happy with that. I know, obviously, like I said, we haven't landed him, but the possibilities of what left winger could come into this squad now is huge. I mean, we could get Barcola, we could get I don't think Williams will go. I really do think he loves it there in Spain. So yeah, Yildiz, I think we've been linked with from Juventus. Rafa Leao, Everton's Ndiaye. which I know these players just ain't nothing near Vinny Jr. But there's, I don't know, when you look at the market, how many left wingers really are there that you would put in that same sort of bracket? For me, my number one target for Arsenal this season is, or was, and obviously is a unattainable target, would be Kvaratskhelia from PSG, if that's how you pronounce his name. Brilliant player. One of my favourite players in world football today, to be honest with you. But yeah, if you can't get him, you can't get Vinny. Would you say Barcola's one of the best looking youngsters, up and coming wingers? More than likely. So we'll see what happens. I know Liverpool have been linked with him, but it doesn't look like they want to pay the money. So we shall see what happens with that. There's still a while to go in the transfer window, up until the 1st of September. So I do think Arsenal are still going to be looking and trying their luck for a left winger. However, I do believe that our new signing, Trezolis, looks really good. Excuse me. So I'm really looking forward to watching him, seeing some more of him. I've seen a few bits and pieces in our friendlies, but he looks really good, especially for the amount of money we paid for him, and at the age that he is, with no experience in the Premier League. I think he'll only get better. So yeah, I personally think that we will need to invest in a centre-back role. I think trying to rush back William Saliba could be bad for us, and obviously if we don't make a very good start, we're going to feel that pressure to try and bring him back, especially knowing that last season our defenders were falling all over the place. Calafiori had injuries, Saliba had a few injuries, Ben White, Timber. We will know what happened with Tomiyasu when he was here. Nkapie had some niggles here and there, but he was mostly available. And you just don't want to go into a new season, not having added to that. I mean, I know it's a fantastic group of defenders, but I just feel like we need a little bit of backup in there. And I know we can't go for some 33-year-old on loan. I've really liked the links with Ezri Konsa, I think it is, from Aston Villa. Really good player. I actually think sitting next to Gabriel, he could become a little, probably on the same level as Willy Saliba. I just believe that Konsa's speed, his power, his aerial, benefits for him being quite a nimble, tall guy. I think that would really, help Arsenal. And, I think if we've got that cover, we're not rushing back Saliba, I think Konsa could play on the right as well if we really needed him to. And I don't want to see Declan Rice or Zubimendi or any of these midfielders playing at right back, Bruno Guimaraes. I just don't want to see that this year. So if we can't rely on Ben White and Timber's out injured, and, do you know what I mean? Maybe we do need to invest in some sort of young right back who can come in and play a few games for us, just to take the pressure off of those two a little bit. Who that is, I'm not too sure. I really don't know. I don't know if you could play Calafiori at right back instead of left, and then maybe go and get a proper left back. Someone at Fulham I've always liked was that Anthony Robinson. I think that's his name. I always thought he was a really good player, or he's shown signs of being a good player. As a backup, he would play maybe a handful of games. I think that'd be a decent signing. But yeah, I would say that's what I want to see. I'd love to see a new left winger, but like I said, with the quality we're trying to aim for, to match our other winger in terms of Saka is huge. So we have to get that right. And if we don't sign one this season, I believe we can sort of cope without that world-class left winger. But yeah, for me, Bruno Guimaraes and a centre back and a right back, preferably who could play both fullbacks positions, left and right, would be class. So yeah, another signing or two would be fantastic for me. I didn't really want to see the likes of Ethan Nwaneri walk out the door. There's been a lot of links with him recently. I'm not too sure with who, but there's been links saying that he could be, you know, making a move away from the club, which I don't think we really need to do that. So whether they're true or not is, you know, here or there. So we'll wait and see about that one. Don't like the links with Lewis Skelly to Man United. We want to keep him. Norgard, I'm happy that he's gone to Everton. Very good. Got a bit of money back from him, which is really, really good. I think I'm not too sure. Excuse me, how many games he had for Arsenal, but I'm glad to get rid of him. I don't think we're going to need him, especially if we've added Bruno in there now. I would like to see Fabio Vieira exit for Hamburg. I don't know whether that's been announced yet or whether that's still a thing, but I would like to see him leave. Mikel Merino, is that going to feel like a new signing, considering he was out for quite a long period last season? And this guy is just so flexible. You know, he can play deep. He can play, you know, more, you know, deeper than he usually does. He can play central. He can play up top. He's just so flexible, you know, and he's really good at playing for the Arsenal, exactly the way we want to play: set pieces, late arrivals in boxes. He is a magnificent player, and when he first came into Arsenal, I was screaming at the telly, what does he do? What does he do that helps this Arsenal side? Do you know what I mean? I just couldn't see it, and for me, he is more of a super sub. I don't think I've really ever seen him start a game and absolutely perform fantastic for Arsenal. I feel like he's more like been that super sub sort of guy, and every club needs one of those guys. So Mikel Merino for me is going to be a huge player for Arsenal this season if he can stay fit. And yeah, other than that, I don't think there's many other links that I would say are true or worthy enough to talk about, or at an advanced stage where we could really, you know, have an opinion about it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with the rest of the transfer market. Obviously, I know we're playing tomorrow against Borussia Dortmund, BVB. So, yeah, interesting game to watch tomorrow. Hopefully a lot better than the outcome we had against Real Betis. But yeah, let's wait and see. I'll leave you there, guys, because the video is 12 to 13 minutes approaching. So we'll leave you there. Enjoy the video, and any comments down below, I shall read and reply when I can. Nice one, guys. Take care. All for now.